M3.
Welcome to the Millionaire Car Salesman Podcast,
M3.
the number one resource for automotive sales professionals, managers, and owners
M3.
to learn how to make money, accumulate wealth, and to all out ball out in the auto industry. And now your hosts, Sean V. Bradley and L.A. Williams.
1, 2, 3, 4,
M3.
Hey everybody, this is your boy Sean V. Bradley, president of Dealer Synergy, and I'm with a very, very good friend of mine, Mr. Shane Ryan. He's the head of automotive for BomBBomb, and I've been rocking with this dude. What's it been, like 4 or 5 years now or more, man? How long's it been?
I think it's about 5.5 years at this point. Yep.
Holy smokes. So about 5.5 years we've been rocking. And folks, I'm going to tell you right now, for everybody listening to the podcast, Shane Ryan and his specialty with video and video communications is one of the absolute highest rated, highest listened to podcasts in the Millionaire Car Salesman history. So we had to bring him back. We want those ratings. So Shane, say hello to everybody, brother.
Hi, everybody. My name's Shane. I've been doing this for over 7.5 years. I've been selling. I've sent over 10,000 personal videos myself. Generated a lot of business, worked with the 2 largest dealerships in North America to help them generate more units sold month over month and have a greater customer experience for the people that they work with. So,
man, I absolutely love that. So do me a favor, kind of just like tell us what's the state of the industry right now for in your perspective from BomBBomb, like what's going on like in the world with the pandemic, the recession, all this stuff.
I think one of the biggest things that we're seeing across the board is obviously inventory is very low. We have chip shortages. We have a lot of the cash for clunker type situation where there's just historically low inventory. But it's also a huge opportunity when we see and look at video as a way for dealerships to better interact with customers, is because the people that are buying today have money or they're trying to plan for the future. So they're trying to budget into the future. I think there's huge opportunity for them to be able to dealerships to explain what the environment, the landscape is. So people's vehicles today are worth more than they'll ever be worth, period, that they own. If they have a third car, if they're looking to downsize, whatever it is, there's an opportunity for you to leverage and get more inventory yourself that way. And the people that are in the market to buy are ready to buy. And so it's an opportunity for them to stand out from the competition. And how are you doing that? What kind of experience are you creating for these people that are looking?
Okay, so let's just take a step back for a second here, and I want to just put this out there. This whole conversation we're going to have is going to be about communication, video emailing, video text messaging, videos on social media, videos on your website, videos on your CRM. It's video communications. Can you give us any type of stats or analytics, the most recent ones that your company has created on just the importance or the value of video?
Yeah, essentially, one of the case studies that I recently did, it was on reaching out to customers that don't know you, and they were able to generate 200 million in pipeline and 50 million in closed revenue 6 months faster. Essentially, they're getting engagement from the customer that doesn't know who they are, cold people that are, you can think of them as your inquiries on your website, things like that, leads that are coming in. They're getting engagement in 1 to 3 touches as opposed to 6 to 9. So that is huge when you're thinking about your average sales cycle, when you're thinking about leads that you convert every month, and then the residual leads that you don't convert. What are you doing with them? How are you staying in touch with them? Video is a way that we can see an 87% increase in engagement. We can see response rates increase. 57% of people respond faster when you use a simple form of video or something like that. So overall, we're seeing more conversations that leads to more units sold.
Yeah, and I'm going to tell you guys, as you see, I wrote Googleopoly, became an international bestseller. And one of the things, here's the bottom line, and I want you to just like confirm this or what have you. People prefer watching video more than anything else, more than reading, writing, texting. People consume video. Not only that, the search engines prefer video. Google's algorithm, there's a hierarchy of relevancy for content. You have static text content, you've got image content, and you've got video content. The preeminent content for the search engines is video. So here's me, if I could just dumb this down, right? I'm just a car salesman, is that if people prefer video more than anything, if the search engines prefer video more than anything, then I think businesses that want to be able to maximize on opportunities and engagements and conversions and sales, they need to embrace the medium that both the masses of people and the masses of software prefer. Am I speaking out of turn, or would you agree with what I'm saying?
Yeah, 100% agree. I think people, I think there's an attention study recently. They do have a low attention. And if you're sending them a bland email that looks like all the other emails in their inbox, they're skipping over it, they're deleting it, they're hitting spam. You need something that's going to grab their attention. Video is one of those tools that can do that.
Now, I'm about to Google this because I have an old number, but maybe you have it off the top of your head. What is the average number, or how much video does the average person consume?
Oh, I don't even know today. It's a lot, especially from the pandemic. I don't know if anybody has young kids, but I know my kids have watched more TV these last couple of years, period. But I think it's weeks.
Yeah, it's so funny. The number that I have is the average person is consuming I think it's over 4 hours of video content, per day. Now, let me be specific. I'm talking between video emails, video text messages, between Apple FaceTime, between Hulu, Netflix. If you just take all video content, it's hours and hours of content per day people are watching, and so that's the third point I'm trying to hammer in, is that if people are used to consuming video on a daily basis, whether it's through, again, Apple FaceTime, Skype, video conferences, Instagram Live, right? Or if they're used to watching Hulu, Netflix, Amazon Prime, then I think that dealers need to understand and respect that this is the way that human beings prefer, and not only prefer, but are obsessed with. Because there's a difference of being preferring something versus obsessed with something. And again, if somebody's obsessed with something, who am I to turn around to be counterintuitive and do something else? I want to cater to their obsession, not try to be the antidote.
Yeah, and so I just brought up the stats for this year. Video is the number one source of information for 66% of people. Over 500 million people watch Facebook videos every day. 75% of all video views come from mobile devices. So most people are watching these videos on their phones. 300 hours of video content is consumed on the YouTube platform every minute. 300 hours of video content on YouTube every minute. 300 hours is consumed. I mean, these are insane numbers.
No, those are absolutely insane numbers. So one more time, again, you just said that, what was the first number? That was just crazy.
Video is the number one source of information for 66% of people.
Okay, so stop right there. That alone is freaking crazy. That's 2/3 people. I'm if you're not the best mathematician, let me help you out here. So 2/3 of human beings gather information through video. So that could be information on car payments. That could be information on new cars, information on used cars, information on, fixing cars, on service, maintenance, how-tos and things like that. So if 2/3 of the freaking population gathers their information from videos, just think about this. If you are not creating this video content, who is? Either your competitors or unqualified people that are giving wrong or misinformation out there. Can you speak on that for a second?
Yeah, I definitely want to, this is an opportunity for each of your dealerships or dealer groups to be like the mayor of that community, like be the one that's giving people the relevant information, the value, providing them insights that So it's like back in the day, you think of like real estate agents, they had to go to the MLS book, right? And you had to go to an agent to look at, what listings were active that week or things like that. Similar with cars, you want to how do you become back to the source of truth and value? And if you're not building that, you're leaving that opportunity on the table for your competitor to take. I mean, that's what's happening. I think you've told me this, Sean. A lot of your customers will pay for pre-roll ad on their competitors' YouTube pages so that it's their face that they see instead of their competitor before they see the competitor video.
Oh my God, yeah. That's the first thing I do. Look, I'm telling you right now, here's one of my secret Sean V. Bradley things. As a national training company and a high-level consultant, if I have a dealership that's hiring me, guys, I have a lot of multi-billion-dollar dealer groups. We have thousands of rooftops that we've worked with over the 19 years that we've been in business. And one of the first things, let's say it's Shane Ryan, BMW. You look like a BMW guy. I'm profiling, right? So that's a compliment. So let's just say it's Shane Ryan, BMW hires Dealer Synergy. One of the first things I'm going to do is mystery shop your competitors, right? I'm going to mystery shop your competitors. And if one of your competitors is dumb enough to send me a video email, then guess what? I'm going to go, hey, Mr. Shane Ryan, guess what? Your competitor is silly. They're straight silly, like Bugs Bunny. They are sending YouTube videos. I highly recommend you buy pre-roll, on their videos. What that means is every single video that they're sending out from their service writers, their salespeople, their BDC, their managers, before their prospects or clients get to see their video message, they're going to get a commercial from ABC Motors. You know what I'm saying? So that's like conquesting opportunity and being Machiavellian with it. I'm getting Italian right there. Go ahead.
There you go. I think that there's opportunity, and a lot of times people think just doing random videos is the way we need to start, right? Just my salespeople let them Wild West it, which is concerning sometimes. Then you also have dealerships that just start putting out random videos or doing what they think are sales videos and putting it on YouTube or things like that, which it's just, you got to think of the experience you're providing for the client. What are you providing there? And how is it representing your dealership and your group? And so I think what I've found is that the most successful dealerships using video is they have a plan and a process, and they stick to that plan and process, and that's where they get the results. Because without that, it's random, the experience you're going to have, the results you'll get with video.
I would agree with you, Shane, that again, the shotgun approach is not going to work. So what I heard you say is, a lot of dealers, what they do is they just start with random videos and just say, hey, you need to start doing videos, and there's really no structure. But then you just switched and said the way you should do it is have a plan and process. So can you give us an example of what a good plan or a starting plan or starting process should be? So just be specific. Like new car dealership, used car dealership, give us a scenario, but let's really detail it out.
Let's go to new car dealership. We're going to talk about your lead funnel. We'll say you get finance leads that are coming in, which I think that represents pretty much everybody would have some sort of finance lead funnel, I would think. So what you would have is introduction. And I actually did this with a internet manager, and they held up a card that said, you're approved. They found that the number one reason why people wouldn't call them back when they had low credit or bad credit, no credit or bad credit, is that they didn't want to hear, no, we can't get you into a vehicle. So, or you're not approved or something to that effect. And so just by putting that in a video, sending that out and saying you're approved, we just need to, validate some information, we'll be able to find a vehicle for you. That went out every single time. And then that triggered a setup process.
Wait a minute, stop, car guy here for a second. Okay.
Yep.
Now, again, different states and have different laws. As a car guy that used to do special finance, some dealerships don't like saying approved, you know what I mean? But you might be able to use the same idea and say you've been pre-approved or you've been pre-qualified. Now, if they have in fact been approved, like legit, then you could turn around and greenlight that idea and have the approved there. Real quick, I think that's brilliant. You know what I mean? Like that makes a lot of sense in the world, is that, a lot of times these people are getting no's, and they don't want to go through it again. But if you have a video, can you explain also, because I don't think they know that with BomBBomb and some other technology, but mostly BomBBomb's pretty good at this. When the video comes through, there's like an animated GIF that has like a thumbnail, because that would make a little more sense for your example.
Yes. So let me see if I can find I'll try and find an example, but essentially the first 3 seconds of that video is what they see with our product. Other products, they do static images, there's other ones that do different things. But having that first 3 seconds that grabs their attention and is solving the number one pain that they're experiencing. So I talked about finance leads. This could be KBB leads. This could be internet. This could be Auto Trader. It could be whatever that funnel is. The idea is that you're trying to engage with them, the pain you solve, so that they will engage with you. So there is some psychology in this to make sure that you're getting people to actually engage, and that it's not just getting deleted. Or, and you're also going to take that same video and send it to them as a text message. You're trying to do multiple channels with these people to try and grab their attention, and you're providing value to build trust so that then they want to have a conversation. And so then you have a step process after that of what is the sales team going to do next? Or how are they introducing themselves? What are they laying out what to expect to the sale and how they're going to get into a vehicle? Like, how are you doing that? And we're injecting those videos in that process so that everyone knows what's going to happen. You can have persona videos, like kind of like that autoresponder. And per state, like you're saying, Sean, if you can't say approved, maybe it's pre-approved, pre-qualified, or whatever it is. The idea is that you're letting them know, hey, we were willing to talk with you and try and make this work. We want this to work for you. We want to get you into a vehicle. And obviously some people, there is no way you're going to get them into a vehicle, but there's other issues. But the idea is that if you can get more conversations, you can qualify or disqualify more people. And that way you can get them out of your funnel or keep them in your funnel for the right reasons, instead of just continuing to pay for more and more leads that are coming in and not getting those conversations. And, every 30 days, you have all of these leads that have never been touched or engaged with, or they're not engaging with you. And you have no plan of what you're doing with them. That's the big thing.
No, I think that's absolutely brilliant. And again, I like what you said. You're making my mind spin too. So again, let's just use this for acquisition. This is perfect because inventory is an issue right there. And if you have a VBC, a vehicle buying center, or if you have like a really strong used car department, if somebody's asking you, like, what's my trade worth on my car, right? Or if they're saying, I want to sell your car, I want to sell you my car. If I'm listening to you correctly, what you're saying is I could have a video thumbnail that says, we want to buy your car. And let's say specifically, if they have a 2018 Ford Explorer, you could even be specific and say, we want to buy your 2018 Ford Explorer. You could have that like on a little whiteboard or whatever that is. Is that what I'm hearing you say?
Absolutely. It's really starting to target the right message for the people in whatever track or whatever the area they're in. We're going to post, I guess you could put this in the details of the podcast or inside Facebook, this Deloitte case study. It's really I know there's a lot of data and numbers, but there is some graphs in there, but it's going to start helping you guys understand we're at the record high for pre-owned inventory and how much it's worth, right? Like if you have a third vehicle or fourth vehicle or something like that, there's a lot of people that have these, they're trying to downsize. Never in the history are they going to be able to get the amount of money they're going to be able to get for the extra vehicles they have. So it's an opportunity for you to not only increase inventory for your dealership, but also get them into, either pre-sale of a new vehicle or, get them into something else so that it's kind of, you're getting inventory and you're selling new inventory. So the idea for you is it's huge that you can use a video to explain to people an insider tip that they may not know. The average citizen, the average person does not know that their used vehicle is worth more than it'll ever be worth today.
Yeah, listen, I got to tell you, I see this on a daily basis. I love it. Okay, so Shane, the process that you're talking about is, okay, we started with the first part of that. That's a big pro tip, is being able to kind of personalize the initial video experience. Again, whether it's you're approved or we want to buy your 2018 Ford Explorer or, whatever it might be. Okay, what's the next pro tip in the chain of events here?
I think that there's some others very specific. So this is kind of an underline, the lead source, like personalization, but you have your CRM strategy on, like, first of all, is everyone using their CRM? And are you putting in to make it feel more personal? Because most people, they go into their CRM and they use out of the box lead follow-up, scripts, emails, all of those things that everyone else in that uses that software is using. So the idea is that you want to optimize those scripts. You want to use video as a part of that to make it feel more personal when it's automated. If it's a manual touch that your people have to do, you have to also make sure that they're actually going through their tasks. But the idea is that in the CRM, there's some really cool ways that you can put video in right now that would get you more business. It's on maybe talking about the current auto landscape. So what we were just talking about, we're going to share that document. You can look at that and use some of those tips, like, that their car is worth more than it'll ever be worth right now. So if they're thinking about getting a new vehicle and trading that in, this is the time to do it. You could talk about the chip shortage. You could talk about, that less vehicles are available. And so they're not going to get their choice maybe right out of the gate, and maybe they'll have to wait longer. So the idea is starting to connect and communicate with people at the dealership earlier if they're really looking for a very specific make and model that they want, right? So they have to start communicating earlier so that when one of those things comes available, that they're the first person that gets the conversation. The hidden money incentives. A lot of those have gone away, but there's ones that are still available that, talk about. If you have a veteran discount, if you have, I think, Sean, there's a couple other like hidden incentives that a lot of dealerships can use that they don't really talk about.
Yeah, so I could jump in on that. So for example, even with the pandemic, they still have military and law enforcement. They're still college grad. And I don't know if you know, but the market is starting to soften on certain things right now. And I just talked to a general manager at one of my Hyundai dealerships in the Midwest. And there are incentives on certain vehicles, but to your point, they're not really evangelized and promoted out there, but they do exist. So I would absolutely talk about every dollar that is theoretically available. Now, remember, somebody's going to qualify for that. No, not everybody's law enforcement, military, or or first responder. But guess what? The freaking people that are would greatly appreciate to know that they have an extra nickel or $800 in their pocket.
Absolutely, and I think that goes right on to, like, right now we're in holiday season, right? We have Black Friday, we have Christmas coming up, New Year's. Many of you are doing, I just got off a call with an owner, Fury Automotive Group, and they do blood drives. They do, Toys for Tots. They do all of these different events. What are you doing to drive people to attend those events? And do you want to get very specific about those events for incentives that you offer? Maybe you want to really connect with people in law enforcement, or really connect with people that are veterans or something like that, using video to not only drive attendance to those events, and then what are you doing to keep them in your CRM, get them in your CRM, and continue the conversation, provide value, check in on them. How are they doing? Make them, if it's a veteran campaign, it's a very specific campaign where you're talking to them about, is there anybody in your network that's struggling? How can we support you? Is there any veterans, homeless veterans that we want to help and assist? Can you refer them to us? Or maybe you're going to give a car away to a single mom. Whatever it is, it's thinking about how do you take these people from these events and put them as a part of your database, is saying they're going to be a future customer, because that is what you're going to have to focus on in 2023. Is that it's very specific on the relational tactics. People are really starting to get picky, and that's where you're going to start to see in 2023. They're budget minded with the economic forecast that we have on us in 2023, inflation numbers going up. The people that you're going to be getting are going to be very picky, and they're going to want to do business with people they feel like they can trust. Video is one of those ways to really enhance that engagement.
Let me just elaborate on that too. Let's just hit something on the head. Inventory is an issue, and inventory shortage. I have a 21-year-old daughter. Shout out to Kalina Bradley. She's one of the top sales consultants at RK Kia in Vineland, New Jersey. And one of the things that she does is she's going to, basically use her CRM to find inventory. So for example, you know how hot Tellurides are, right? So what happens is if she's got someone that's looking at a Telluride and there's no inventory in stock, what she's literally doing is going back to people she sold the vehicle to like 9 months ago, 12 months ago, 15 months ago, 24 months ago. And she's reaching out to them and she's like, hey, I could get you more for your vehicle than it's worth, and things like that. So she's turning a potential car deal with no inventory into a 2-car deal, because if she's able to buy a vehicle back from one of her prior customers or from an orphan owner, or wherever she could find one from, right? Not only can she have a vehicle to sell that prospect on that vehicle, but the person that's selling their vehicle might need another vehicle. I've watched my daughter turn a no car deal into a 2-car opportunity. I think being able to have that message in video. So if I'm going through my CRM tool and I'm looking at Ashley, she's somebody that purchased a Kia Telluride for me 18 months ago, right? I could turn around and say, Ashley, you're not going to believe this. Your vehicle is worth more than it was ever been worth before, ever will be worth right now. I could get you more for your vehicle than it's worth. Would you consider selling me that vehicle to you? Because if you do, I've got some options that will be able to, not only get you money on this, but get you into a sweetheart deal on something else. So can you talk about that, how they could use video, email, video, text message to try to gain inventory?
Yeah, it's an opportunity inside of campaigns. Again, it's I've seen orphan leads. That's a huge one where salespeople are jumping ship at a higher rate than any other sales profession. There's opportunity, the people that they have done business with, and no one's engaging with them. So yeah, if someone's looking for that specific make and model, that's what you should be going back 18 months, 24 months, engaging with them, asking them how everything's going with that vehicle. Is it meeting your needs still? It's been almost 2 years. People are buying new houses, I think, every 2.5 years now. It might have changed now since the interest rates have gone back up. But the idea is that car still meeting the need that you had? And by the way, it's worth more than it's ever been. And you might be able to get into another vehicle and keep the same payment, or whatever it is, right? You can start building these deals and opening up pipeline for yourself. That's the idea. It's a relational tool. You could do a campaign. You could literally pull a list from your CRM, as long as your CRM is up to date, and find people that have bought very specific makes and models that you guys are looking to get, and add video to make it feel more personal from the GM saying, hey, we want your vehicle and we're willing to pay top dollar for it. Please, respond to this email or give us a call to this specific number and we can get you, a quote on that or whatever it is. So you're starting to generate more leads from your database as opposed to just trying to pay more money to get more leads coming in the funnel. And these are people warm because they were customers. They bought with you. They had an experience with you.
I love it. Now I'm going out of order a little bit because I know we kind of had a little outline that we were working on here so we could hit all the important points. I want to talk about referrals for a second here. Referrals are so powerful. It's about a 50% closing ratio. When you have somebody that is going to recommend you. So for example, if I basically am recommending Shane to, let's say there's a friend of mine, his name's Bob. Bob wants to buy a car. I'm like, oh my God, listen, I have a guy that works at Shane Ryan BMW. He's a really good guy. He's going to take really good care of you. Now, if Bob's my friend, and that means I'm Bob's friend, he's going to trust my recommendation because I'm his friend. And it's going to be an easier experience for Bob to turn around and go to Shane Ryan BMW and get sold a car. Why? Because it's borrowed credibility. I don't think salespeople and dealerships take enough time on referrals, period. Unfortunately, no disrespect to my salespeople, but if you were just telling somebody, if I just sold you a car and said, oh, by the way, if you know anybody that's looking to buy a car, I'll give you $100. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's the lazy tiger approach. You know what I mean? Is that when you are selling a car and you ask somebody there to, hey, please, if you know anybody, let me know, please, desperately. It sounds a little thirsty. You know what I mean? But what you can do is you could start creating referral agents. That means people or organizations that have access to a lot of people. And I think leveraging video to be able to explain, this, I could do a video and say something like this to Shane. Hey, Shane, my name is Sean Bradley. I'm one of the senior consultants here at ABC Motors. And a very good friend of mine, Bob, had just purchased a vehicle for me. He said you were a good friend of his and that you actually are the owner of, Shane's restaurant. Well, I'm sure, Shane, you have a lot of, clients to come in. And, if you ever know somebody that needs to purchase a vehicle, either sell the vehicle, get help with financing, or any type of service. Matter of fact, anything automotive, I just want to let you know that I'm your resource. And as a matter of fact, first and foremost, I want you to know that I will treat your people with respect, with transparency, and give them the greatest deal possible. You're going to be a superhero for recommending me. That's the first thing. Second thing, if we are able to earn the business of any of your referrals, we actually pay cash money. So if you refer somebody to me that actually buys a car, I'm going to pay you $200. If you refer somebody to me that wants to sell their car, that means, if I actually buy someone's car, I'm going to pay you $100. And that's only one. If you have more than one person either buy or sell a car from me, I'm going to give you a bonus, an extra $50. So again, to be specific, if it's two people that buy a car from me, I'm going to give you $500, $200 for each of them, and then $50 each as a bonus because there's two. Now, again, stop narrative. Some states, not a lot, thank God, some states in our country have laws against paying for bird dogs. Unfortunately, you're shut out of luck if you're in one of those states on this example right here. It is what it is. But thank God, the majority of us in this industry are allowed legally to incentivize for referrals. Now, here's the thing is you could incentivize anybody for anything if you're legally able to. Shane, can you talk about referrals and how to utilize video, email, video text, or videos on social media or videos in CRM?
Yeah, I think this is one of the number one easiest ways to get referrals. And if you do this today, whether you use our product or some other solution that's video, you will get more referrals, guaranteed. It's right at the point where you hand them the keys. You pull out your phone, record a video, and you say, "Tell us about your experience today working with me." And then they say what they're going to say. Stop video. You say, "Hey, I'm going to send this to you. There's going to be a share button. You can share it on your Facebook. I'd love for you to tag me in it. That way I can answer any questions about people that may have heard bad advice or they have heard whatever. I want to be a resource for them. Just tag me in it. And by the way, just by doing that, when I see that I'm tagged in that post, you could do your referral bonus, or you could say, I'm going to get you a Starbucks, or I'm going to get whatever you want to say." The idea of them posting that on their social network is that now you have access to their entire social network. And every time that they watch that video, because everyone's going to get excited with them because they're so excited about buying their new vehicle, second largest purchase of their life, right? And every single comment, every single like is now a lead, is now a referral from that person as you being now the resource. You're invited into that chat. You're invited into that social network to start having those conversations. So start thinking about that. Every deal you sell, record the video, and instead of being all about you and posting it on your social media about this person that had a great experience, because you only have a limited social network, send it to their network and have them engage and invite you into their network. Because the more you do that, if you're selling 15, 20, 25 cars a month, that's 25 networks a month that you're getting into, and that just starts to accelerate. It's like compound interest of how many people that you're now engaged with, and you're starting to kind of connect that way. So that is the number one way, I think, to get referrals and to be that resource and that be valuable, because you're going to be in the comment section and you're answering questions that people have, or I'm sure one of them is going to be like, "I'm actually in the market for a car. How is your experience? I see they have a bad review." And then you can pop in and say, "I understand that there's some bad, things that happen at dealerships, but I want to let you know that, for us, it's transparency, it's honesty," or something like that, right? You can start being a part of that. You can be the resource. You can be the person that's the trusted advisor for them.
I got to tell you, I think that's absolutely brilliant. Again, so I'm going to repeat what I just heard. So if you're listening for our audience, specifically, if you just spotted a vehicle, take out your cell phone and then just basically get your new client to, basically validate that they had a great experience, from you. It's pretty much a video review or video testimonial. I hate calling it testimonial, Shane, because this ain't church. I mean, people don't Google testimonials and stuff. They Google reviews, but we like to talk about testimonials, whatever you want to call it, review, testimonial, but that's what you're looking to do. You're looking to get it. But I like what you're saying, Shane, is that you're going to also instruct your new client to be able, you're going to say, "Look, I'm going to share this with you. Can you please put this on your social media? Or can you, if you know anybody that's in the market, send them this video right here." So again, you're not being intrusive. You're not asking for, because some dealers are aggressive and have their salespeople try to ask for, like, "Here, give me a list of your people right now that I could call." And sometimes people have it, but a lot of people feel uncomfortable, just start giving names and phone numbers and email addresses like they're a freaking FBI informant. It's not something that the average person wants to do. So what you're doing is you're basically capturing the asset, so they already have it. You're sharing it, so it's going to be in their phone, and you're instructing them, you're guiding them on how they can syndicate that message through their social media or pass it along to anybody that's going to be potentially see value in that message. And you're going to reinforce and emphasize, if you do this, here's what you get. Just by doing this, I might give you a gas card or Starbucks card. That I like that you also add that nugget in, Shane.
Add it to your VIP program. You're creating your own VIP program as an individual rep, or if the dealership wants to sponsor it, they should do that, right? The idea with our service is really easy because you send it to them as an email and they can literally just click the Facebook share button and it's shared. The cool thing about that is that it's not just the video, it's all of you as a sales rep, and your whole branding of your dealership is on that video. So every time someone watches that video, they're seeing you, your signature line, your contact information, all of that stuff. So the idea is we try and make it as easy as possible to connect the value of that experience to you as a sales rep or to you as a dealership. That's the idea, because you want to be the one.
Here's what I want you to do. Can you demonstrate that, like post interview? Can you go in the Millionaire Car Salesman group and post an example so people could see this? So our listeners, first of all, if you're in the Millionaire Car Salesman group, it's easy for you to see because you're going to, be able to see it in the group. But if you're one of our amazing loyal fans and listeners on the podcast, you need to join the Millionaire Car Salesman group to see the example that I'm having Shane do. So Shane, again, transparency. This is a BomBBomb thing. It just makes it a lot easier. So the exact example, let's just role play. So if I'm the salesperson and you're the client that just bought their brand new 2023 BMW, M850i, right? So you got a nice vehicle, right? I take a video of you basically saying how awesome I am and how you recommend me because of wonderful things he does. Okay, boom. And then I send this to you. What you have the ability to do is you don't have to even go cut and paste anything. You could just press the Facebook button and it's going to post that video onto your own Facebook. And then from there, you'll see my branding and my message and my tagline and all that other stuff. My question is, can you cut and paste or somehow get an example in the group so people could see what this looks like?
Yeah. What I'll do is I'll actually build out the template and I'll do a quick video. I think I have
for Shane BMW. You can use for Shane Bryan BMW store.
I think we have a Maserati dealership one that we could do. So anyways, I think the big thing for you guys is you're thinking about doing this. It's not about how great was Shane. It's what was your experience. You don't want to lead them, right? You don't want to lead the witness on what you want them to say. You want them to tell them about the experience. If it's a BMW, I'm sure they went through how many cars. You can even ask questions, have 3 ready, right? Tell us about your experience today. They tell you. How long did it take you to find this vehicle? Boom, they're going to tell you. And then the last one is, what made you choose this one? Right? You're asking them just real quick interview question. They're going to lay out everything, but you're not leading them like, how great was I? That was so awesome, right? You're doing that because they're going to talk about the education you gave them. Hopefully they're going to talk about that experience and how you made it stress-free. They're going to talk about the dealership and how welcoming they were and how fast it was or whatever it was, right?
Hey, Shane, I'm sorry. I feel I'm getting my pimp on. I'm going to pimp you a little bit here because you just gave us a good shit though. I want some questions and I'll add to it. If you do 5 questions, I'll add 5 questions too in the Millionaire Car Salesman group. You know what? You brought up a really good point because I'm so used to asking questions. I nailed this out of the park. I got like 2,400 video reviews on Dealer Synergy and what we do, but I know that a lot of salespeople are not prepared. And I think chance favors prepared mind. That's it. So that's the saying. Chance favors a prepared mind, which means that if you're prepared with these interview questions, your video review or video testimonial will be that much better instead of trying to just wing it. Is that what I'm hearing you say?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Right, so
rehearse it. This could be part of your stand-up at your dealership. Like, you're going to sell a car, like you're already putting in your mind, you're going to sell a vehicle that day or 2 vehicles or whatever it is. What are you going to say to them? So then it's starting to position your mind in the future of what is the experience you're providing for a customer? Because You're going to ask these questions. You want them to say the things you want them to say. What is that experience you're creating for them? Are you just an order taker? or are you creating an experience? So we'll put in some questions inside of there, but you start thinking about, this is a craft. This isn't order taking. So all the order takers out here, you're going to keep doing what you're doing because that's what you do. But the ones that want to make this into a career, I remember the very first book I ever read in sales, period, was How to Close Every Deal by Joe Girard. And it's an old school methodology, but he talks so much about value. He talks about he would not take ups. It was only by appointment only. People came to him and stood in line and waited hours because they knew the experience they were going to have with him. If you guys can start creating that mindset, 2023 is going to be your best year ever.
Also, I love this. I want to touch on something, and again, I'm not complaining at all, but I'm actually a consumer. I'm having a real difficult experience with a vehicle. Shane, I don't know if this is true story shit. So I have an amazing client, the Doral Auto Group. I mean, they are one of the best Lincoln dealers groups in the country. So they have 2 big Lincoln stores in Miami, and they have a huge Ford dealership. And about 4.5 months ago, I ordered a 2023 Lincoln Aviator, black label, Grand Touring, blah, blah, blah. It's a nice truck. Like, I've had everything before, like the Maserati Levantes, the X5Ms and the GL 450s and all that stuff. So we got this, but I'm buying a car right now in the middle of an inventory crisis. And let me just share what my experience has been. And I could show you this after the interview if you want. Like, I have from a Lincoln manufacturer, I've constantly keep getting the fuck you letter. You know what I mean? And what that means to me from the manufacturer is like, fuck you, I know you're waiting for your car, but don't care. They tell me it's going to come, it's going to get built on this date, and they're constantly changing it. And I'm going back and forth. As a consumer, this is not the dealership's fault. The dealership is at the mercy of the manufacturer. They're not building it. But as somebody that's buying almost $100,000, SUV, I think that video would soften that blow, to be honest with you. Because I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to show you just for the people that are listening to this, that on the podcast and can't see it, I'm pulling up my email account right now. Okay. There goes my outline for this presentation right here. Hold on. Let me get into this really quick. This is going to make sense because I want you to see this craziness for a second here. Right. There we go. So Shane, as you see, I'm going into my Gmail. I'm going to type in Lincoln right here, Lincoln Aviator, and look at this. Look at all of the dates that are in here. Look at how many times this thing says it's been there. So I'm just going to go right here. So this says right here, this is going to get built on October 17th. Okay. And then this one says it's going to get built on October 24th. And then this one says...
Question, Sean, do you think that your dealership knew that this was going out before it came out to you?
I think that they did, but not specifically. No, not that second. No, I don't think they knew this. No, because they didn't know either. So no, they knew that the manufacturer is sending the notifications, but they don't know when. And the manufacturer, and the dealership is not made aware that they changed it. They keep changing it to us, and they keep changing it to the dealer. And I got to tell you right now, I mean, this is something that's really important that I don't hear anybody really talking about. The reality with the inventory crisis is that there are more direct orders than they've ever been in the history of the automotive industry. True or false, Shane?
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
The process sucks right now because it keeps getting freaking changed. And if you're going to purchase a $100,000 vehicle or a $10,000 vehicle, whatever it is, if you're looking forward to something or you need something, I mean, it's anticlimactic. It's what's called a withdrawal from the emotional bank account. I mean, you just saw with your own eyes, there was about 8 different times that the manufacturer changed the freaking order, the build out. So what I'm saying to you is this. What would be better is if we were told something personally by a real person. It might go something like this. Hey, Mr. Bradley, or hey, Sean, I want to just give you an update. First, I want to apologize before we get started. The manufacturer has changed again the time. The good news, though, it's only been changed by 1 day. I apologize for any inconvenience. That's what's called hospitality. If there's something that's disappointing, do you want a static email from the manufacturer that's kind of cold-blooded, in my opinion? Not really. And I want to emphasize, this is not the fault of the actual dealerships, because the dealerships don't get paid money until the cars are sold and they get delivered and they get funded. So this is not your fault as the dealer. This is not my fault as if I'm the dealer. This is a manufacturer problem. So one of the things that dealers can do, managers could do, salespeople could do, BDC reps could do, is they can anticipate the colossal debacle of the inventory, being built at wrong times by utilizing personalization with video. Can you please speak on this? Am I
absolutely?
Do you agree?
You're absolutely. So bad news is actually one of the best ways to use video, because what happened, Sean, getting that email, you're pissed. You don't really have answers why. So you probably called somebody or sent an email, and then they probably sent an email back. And then maybe you got a phone call. At that point, you're fuming because you just don't have any real information, right? And then you go off on them or maybe you're just like, hey, I need a vent or whatever. And they got to take that, right? And then they try and find answers. So instead of all that, they know that there's a change. Hopefully, if I was Lincoln or any of these other companies, I would give a super conservative estimate. If I was going to change it one time, I'd go super conservative. That's going to be on this time. That way you could surprise and delight after, right? That would be one thing. But if you got that email and they sent a video and it was the GM or whoever, and he's holding his hand like this, and he's like, hey, Mr. Bradley, I'm so sorry. I just heard they made another change. I know this is like your seventh one. I want you to know that we are just as angry as you are. This is not the experience that we come to bring as a dealership. I am on the phone with the dealership on hold right now, with the manufacturer on hold right now to find out what is the date, what can I tell you so that you have a better experience. And I apologize. This is not what we try and do. I want to let you know I will be giving you updates as I hear more. Brother, if they sent that, what would you do? Right?
I'd be like you get diffused because exactly.
So you do that. Yeah. But you do that, and then the GM should say at the end of the call, I'm going to give you a call in an hour, and I'm going to tell you what the status is. Then you get on the call. You've had time to process that video, update whatever he said, and you're waiting for the update. You're in a better mood because it's not him. He's fighting for you. You've now put yourself on the same side of the table, and we're going to get this deal done. We're going to make sure we get this vehicle to you, right? That's the difference.
And I would agree, because I got to tell you, the Doral Auto Group, they are incredible people. Seriously, you can't sell 1,000 cars a month in a pandemic by being a pirate. They have such a great reputation, and they're not the only ones. Like all dealers are at the mercy of the manufacturers. They're at the mercy of the order banks, and again, utilizing just some compassion. And you think about this, folks. There's a science of communication. I've talked about this before. 55% of communication is visual perception and body language. 38% of it is sound and inflection. Only 7% is text or the actual words we use. What you said before, when you have the hand in your head, that's body language. If I turn on and I have my voice lowered down, like, Mr. Bradley, I'm embarrassed to say this to you. Again, you feel sight, sound, motion, and emotion. Sincerity can be conveyed through video. Sincerity cannot be conveyed as easily, not even close, through a text, a chat, or an email, because there's no inflection of tone, there's no body language, it's just verbiage.
Sean, read the first sentence of that email when the change order.
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna bring it up so I can read it out loud. Okay. The production date for your new Lincoln has changed. Dear Sean Bradley, in all caps. Oh my God, right? Except for critiquing this. And then look at this. We have made an adjustment to the production date of your 2023 Lincoln Aviator Black Label Grand Touring. Your new Lincoln is now scheduled to be built.
There's no empathy in this at all.
No.
Not even in text, right? There's no empathy at all. So for you making this investment, you ordered this who knows how long ago.
July.
That is what every dealership needs to go look at your emails. And when you have a bad news email template or whatever it is that you have, is there empathy in it? We are so sorry. This is not what to expect with us. Like something to that effect. If you're not using video, if you're using video, you could have a video from the GM, from the manager, from whoever it is, right? We are so sorry. Like we screwed up. Or, even if you did screw up, if it was an inventory stock problem or swapping numbers or whatever, I don't know. Own that stuff, because that I would tell you in an experience. I've talked to the number one person in customer experience. His name is
Shep Hyken.
Shep Hyken, yes. Yeah,
My
he's your
guy,
buddy.
bro. It's my
He's your
guy.
guy. Shep Hyken, he's in our book, but his thing is always be amazing. And he says to accomplish that, all you have to do is be a little better than average all the time. Like, it's insane, but it's true. So instead of the dealerships with you guys having these highs and these low lows, it's like just a little better than average all the time. And they're going to come back to you every single time. Having vulnerability, owning your mistakes, and letting them know how you're going to make it right. If you can do those things, you will destroy your competition in your area, period.
Man, I love fucking like talking to you because it's like two like kung fu masters just coming up. You could be Shaolin, I'm Wu-Tang at the moment, because you said something. It's so true about like showing compassion, showing empathy. What are the rules of engagement for sales, especially car sales? Sales is a relationship activity. People buy from people they like, trust, or believe, or they believe that are like them, you know what I mean? Or they aspire to be. These are facts. And it's very difficult to show compassion or show empathy or show sincerity through just regular old school communication models like text or chat or things like that. But with video, you have that unique opportunity, unlike a phone call, unlike a text message, unlike an email, unlike a chat. You have the ability to get people to like you, trust you, and believe you. Can you speak on that part right there about the video and the relationship side of things?
So this is a book. It's called Human Centered Communication. It's actually available digitally for free. We're giving it away. It's Wall Street Journal bestseller. There's 11 experts, including Shep. They talk about this. But in here, Dan, I'm trying to get his last name, but he owns like 16 patents on facial recognition software. And the guy is a beast in that he talks about how valuable it is. It's just this triangle here, like trust, relationship, engagement, all that stuff happens here. How are you conveying that in text anything? You're not. It's not happening. So the idea is that video enhances that ability for people to be able to connect. There's another guy that we've interviewed on our podcast, the Customer Experience Podcast, where he talks about fans and how to build raving fans. Video is the same as personal space. So that's within 3 feet distance apart. Video activates those parts in your brain that is about connection and close, intimate space where you can build relationship. Video is the way to do that. So that is what we're talking about when we're using simple video, whether you're using Facebook Live, whether you're using WhatsApp, whether you're using Instagram Live, whatever it is. Every time someone hears you and sees you and engages with you in that way, like a lot of people that follow Tony Robbins, they feel like they know him. Probably never met him before, but they feel like they know him. Sean Bradley, you guys probably watch a lot of videos if you're on Bradley On Demand or any of those. Like you see all these videos, you probably see him at an event and feel like you shake his hand and you're like, man, so great to see you again. But some of you may have never met him before, right? I remember the first time I ever met Sean, we had only met via video, like calls, and then meeting in person. It was cool because it felt like I already knew Sean. And then the more that we engaged, the more that we got to know each other. So this is what we're talking about. It's these very specific strategies, but BomBBomb.com/free book, and you can get yourself a digital copy and enjoy that. There's a lot of really great just positives around how you be more human-centered in the way you communicate. And it's good news, bad news. It's using video. It's not using video. It's just the way that you outline and optimize your emails so they actually get delivered, better subject lines, like all of these things that we can help you with. And this book can definitely help you with. But the chapter out with Shep Hyken is fantastic. You should definitely take it.
Yeah, Shep is a colleague of mine. He's the former president of the National Speakers Association. He, like I, are CSPs in the NSA, and he's in the $1 Million Speakers Group. He's New York Times bestselling author. I mean, the guy is absolutely phenomenal as just as a human being, and he's recognized as one of the best customer service experts in the world. So here's a question for you. We posted in the Millionaire Car Salesman Facebook group, and when we launched the podcast on this, is that this is how to sell more cars and recession-proof your dealership by utilizing video. I want to give you my interpretation, and the closing statement is going to be from you, Shane. But when we say recession-proof your dealership, here's the reality: whether we're in a recession right now, we're about to be in the recession, shit's hitting the fan right now. You know what I mean? Like it literally is, with inflation and what have you, the market softening. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that's going on. And what we're saying is, what I'm saying, I'm let Shane say whatever he wants to say, but I'm saying is, if you want to sell more cars more often, more profitably, if you want to conquest the stupid dealers and the dealers not paying attention out there, then what you've got to do is out experience your competition. Especially right now at this moment, there's still an inventory shortage. There's an egregious pricing on used cars. As I just told you, my own personal psychotic experience in ordering a car from a highline manufacturer is less than desirable. All this is a reality. If you are able to find a way to break through that noise, to be compassionate, to be empathetic, to be kind, to be professional, to be appreciative, if you could out experience your competition, that is how you're going to recession-proof your business. Because if you think in the next 18 months to 2 years, it's going to be the same shit that just happened, you're out of your freaking mind. You know what I mean? It's called Darwinism. The weaker dealers and the stupid dealers that are sleeping at the wheel are going to become extinct. And the smart dealers are going to be acquiring your dumbasses. No disrespect. I'm just telling you that that's what's about to happen. And what you could do right now is to be proactive and start to implement a strategy. Again, NADA says the average prospect is searching 11 different dealerships and or websites, whether those are Cars Direct, TrueCar, AutoWeb, Car Gurus, AutoTrader, Cars.com, or their ABC Motors, XYZ Motors. And if you think about it, if there is an inventory shortage and a crazy price increase that exacerbates the situation, people are jumping from dealer to dealer to find inventory and find the lowest prices. So what does that mean? That means that people are phone calling. There's 11 potential salespeople or dealerships phone calling these people, or your same prospect, or they're text messaging or emailing. You could differentiate yourself from the noise. I'm not saying stop email, phone call, and texting. You still got to do that. You got to be faster and better than everybody else. But what you can do is do what everybody's not doing. Invest the time and energy in learning the strategy and process for video email, video text messaging. And I'm going to give a plug right here at the end of this interview, which is right now. And you should go to BomBBomb. It's bombomb.com/dealer synergy. We've got like a national Groupon thing with them that you cannot get it cheaper anywhere except through this podcast and this relationship right here. Shane is the head of automotive for the entire national company of BomBBomb. And they don't just do automotive. They do real estate. They do every other vertical, but I'm in automotive. So that's all I care about. No offense, Shane. You know what I mean? So
Shane, you're in real estate too, a little bit, right?
Yeah, but I don't, I do have a lot of properties and stuff like that, but I'm not a real estate trainer consultant, but touche, you're right. But Shane, for you, that was my interpretation of the recession-proof title. Can we hear in closing, how do you feel and what do you mean exactly how a dealership could recession-proof their dealership utilizing video?
I think there's 3 levels, right? You have the babies that have never even thought of technology. Maybe they're still using spreadsheets for their CRM. You have the people that are, just got CRM, they're kind of using it. And then you have the people that are experts. All of these people across the board, this book right here, being more human-centered in the way you communicate, is going to win more deals. The Deloitte case study link, I'm going to put in the chat right after this. You're going to see that's what people are looking for. They're looking for people they can trust to know about the environment, the forecast, what's going on. You can inject video very simply right in your CRM. If you don't have a CRM, you can use our system. You can use BomBBomb or one of the other systems out there to start understanding who your client base is and how are you engaging with them on a more personal basis. You have 2 opportunities right now: Thanksgiving, Christmas, X3, New Year's. What events are you doing locally? How are you helping the community? Whether it's helping homelessness, whether it's helping single moms that are struggling right now. I mean, we're in the worst economic part of this since COVID, really, where people are really struggling to get back on. How are you as a dealership partnering with those people that could be your customer in the future, right? And video is going to help you do all of that. Sean talked about that site. One of the biggest things that separates us from any of our people that are competitors or in the space, love them all to death. I talk with them. It's great. Is that we are training you on how to not just use a product or a service, but how to inject this in your business to have better communication with your leads, your service people, clients, your referrals. How do you gain more referrals using simple video? We're going to tell you how long videos should be. We're going to tell you how to put your subject lines so you're going to get better engagement. We're going to help you train your team to make this part of a process and a system. If you can do that, you're going to win more. You're going to recession-proof your business because your clients and your prospects are going to know that you care about them. And that's what they're looking for.
Shane, I absolutely love it. I appreciate you taking the time to be able to share your experience and knowledge. In closing, is there any other thing that you want to give to our audience about video? Can you talk about, like, again, if somebody reaches out to you for BomBBomb, for their store, can you explain really quick what BomBBomb does specifically, what the platform does? You got 30 seconds.
So, when you reach out to us, we're going to work with you. We're going to find out kind of what your current state is. How many leads are you getting? What does that process look like? Are you doing anything with video? And then we're going to look at how we optimize that. When you sign a deal with BomBBomb, it is a year commitment for the first year. That is including training, onboarding, branding, helping you understand how you inject this in your business. Not only do you get a subscription with BomBBomb, you actually get access to all of our on-demand training, right? On Bradley On Demand with Sean's team. They're going to help you guys and coach you as well as a part of that if you are in his training system. But the idea is that we're going to help you start moving the needle on having more conversations, spending less on marketing, and more on those conversations to drive adoption and engagement with those prospects and leads. So we are going to set that up for over 4 weeks. We're going to have individual trainings with assignments telling you what to do. So we're walking you through that process, and we're with you that entire year. And then it's month to month after that, but we still support you and train you. You have an assigned customer success manager. You have my direct cell phone number. I live and breathe sales. I love it. I love doing it. A lot of people think I've sold cars. I've actually never sold cars other than my own personal ones, like on Craigslist or whatever, but like, that's it. This stuff works. Sales, I mean, if you guys really want to hear a really great methodology, gap selling, this is really, really good. And understanding this gap as you're trying to get people, as they're looking at other dealerships that are $50 cheaper or $500 cheaper, how do you show them the value of why they should choose you versus someone else? It's another great read. So,
Shane, listen, again, as always, whenever I have you on the show, you crush it for information. It's been over an hour on here, brother. We just killed it with knowledge and information. Thank you so much. And everybody, I highly recommend BomBBomb. So it's BomBBomb, like you to bomb, BomBBomb.com/dealer synergy, and get your upgrade right now for video email, video text messaging, and video communications across the board.
So there you have it, the Millionaire Car Salesman Podcast. This podcast comes to you every week from the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. If you have a question about the show or would like the chance to become a guest, feel free to contact us directly at 856-546-2440 or email us at millionairecarsalesman@gmail.com. This program is a presentation of Synergy Records, produced by Tiana Mick and L.A. Williams. Production and engineering by L.A. Williams. The Millionaire Car Salesman Podcast is hosted every week by L.A. Williams and the Millionaire Car Salesman himself, Sean V. Bradley. The Millionaire Car Salesman Podcast can be found everywhere, so please don't forget to review, subscribe to, and share the show. Thanks for listening to the Millionaire Car Salesman Podcast, and remember, where I'm from, money provides options. If you enjoyed this podcast, then make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and leave us a review. Let some other folks know about it. Oh, and don't forget to join the Millionaire Car Salesman group on Facebook. We'll see you there.